mono red versus is it?
Mono
So,
blue is that, I
oh, is it
think.
mono blue versus?
Yeah, I think it's Kenneth and Ryan battling on round
Oh,
2 here.
two monocolored players. Oof.
Yeah, Ryan is, trying to put in some boost patch, but his deck is really mono red at the end of the day, and he starts off with the Goblin Patrol here.
Oh, okay, so he was on is it? So he does have blue splash, but
Yeah, he has a
core
tiny
elements is mono red though.
Exactly, the way the deck plays, it's, we see 1 mana 2/1 trying to get in early, push through some damage, and Kenneth is kind of partner in this, playing a tap land. So yeah, so Ryan, as expected, pays the Echo cost, hits for 2, play a land, passing back.
Yeah, no follow-up play. This is just one of those things where awkward mana really just sees a slug down on playing after you get paid for those echoes costs.
Okay, so that's a Stern Proctor. It's a 1/2, so
At the end of the day, this is just a 2 mana 1/2. Really not going to do anything impactfully huge over here, but it does still block the 2/1.
Yeah,
Offers the
Kenneth is
trade,
offering the trade.
and the trade's accepted.
Yeah, and then 2/2, so upgrade on Ryan's side.
So
It's a
mono,
Goblin Raider. It can block. It's a 2/2,
so
and
nothing super exciting going here. Just trading twos for twos. We got
well,
Veiled
now
Serpent.
Veiled Serpent. So this is an interesting card. Ryan reads it too. So this is a 3 mana enchantment, and then if the opponent plays a creature spell, I believe.
No, any spell.
It's any spell, then this
Veiled
becomes
Serpent.
a 4/4, but it cannot attack unless they have an island. So this is like a 3 mana 4/4 defender, which is really good. And Ryan read the card, so he doesn't want to really play into the Serpent. But at one point he has to. Like, I don't think he's gonna go all the way with a 2/1 clock.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, this is one of those actual interesting interactions where it's like, okay, do I play something? Do I let them get the thing? Do I wait on it?
Yeah, a Koromor Folk.
Two
From
mana,
Kenneth.
2/1, and again, just like that 2 toughness is just like
And the
blocking it.
Voltaiki was the 1 mana spell, which was put into the side for a little bit. So Kenneth might have some shenanigans going on with that Voltaiki, but so far matching up what Ryan is doing, 2/1 against a 2/2. So happy to do the trade. And Ryan is thinking, how can he play around that Veiled Serpent? The good thing is that he's, by virtue of not having an island, is kind of keeping the Serpent in check for the time being, but he does need to activate at one point, and he does.
Okay.
Fiery Mantle, so that's one way to actually circumvent this problem. So Fiery Mantle is the undying enchantment for red. When it goes to the graveyard from the battlefield, you get it back to your hand, and then it gives the creature fire breathing. So they can use 1 red mana and then give it +1 power, +1 power. And the good thing is with that now a 2/2 can trade up very well against 4/4s or bigger creatures. So let's see what Ryan is up to here.
Yeah, but kind of the other side really has that 2/1 merfolk that's just holding down the floor. Because it doesn't matter how much mana Ryan pumps into that goblin.
Kenneth is doing the Voltaiki trick, tap it to untap itself.
A little cheeky play here.
Yeah.
You can tell guys are having fun.
Yeah, it's just, some of the old cards, a little bit of enjoyment. And Veiled Serpent number 2, now that's gonna hurt.
Okay.
Yeah,
Looks
this
like
is
mono
bad.
blue has just got the toughness and the power right now.
I really like the art of the strict proctor. They got what a proctor.
Oh,
Example.
the Stone Proctor, yeah. It's actually, the flavor is good on that card too.
Yeah.
It's like your enchantment goes back, so your homework wasn't good, and then it sends it back.
That's amazing.
Okay, so we're coming in with a 2/2 with fire breathing, no mana pumped into it. Safe blocks, they just block with the 2/1. No reason really not to. Still
Yep.
early in the game, life totals are pretty much even.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, like, he knows that he gets back half of this package with the Fiery Mantle, which is not nothing. So if he can put another creature out and follow up again, you just need to eat through these Veiled Serpents. But that's cool. Like, I actually was very impressed with, the design in that way, that the first one I looked at, how red cards match up against like 4/4s, it looked poorly, but cards like Fiery Mantle, a couple other cards in the set lets you kind of push through that damage. So let's see how that plays out here.
Well, it's also one of those things where it's like this is one of those clear showcases of old creatures just weren't that great, and creature enchantments were really kind of good in this time frame, just because old creatures just were not as impactful as they are today.
Yeah.
and enchantments are very heavily played in formats like this.
Oh yeah, certainly, certainly. I mean, this was also, I believe, in the design realm. They meant it to be an enchantment set, and the weird thing is that a lot of people think that it's an artifact set because I believe the more broken gameplay experience is coming from artifacts, but there's a lot more enchantments in the set. So this is another one, lifting refrain,
Yeah.
which is basically a power sink on the board. Every upkeep it gets a counter, and then your opponent has to spend X, which is the number of counters on it, or that spell is countered.
It's a very good card,
Ooh, a
but
heat ray.
oh, okay. So we get one Veiled Serpent down, another one comes down.
Yeah, Ryan feels that he doesn't want to play the heat ray against the lifting refrain later on, so let's just get it out of the board right now.
Lifting Refrain is definitely less scary now, just because we're so late into the game. So it's not going to really do anything for at least a couple turns, probably.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But it's definitely one of those things where it's like later on in the game, it forces your opponent to play around it because they know it's there.
Yeah.
It's the trick is on the table, and it's just one of those dynamics where you just have to play around it, and you really just kind of have to kind of play this little you get in their head, they get in your head game with it.
It's also, yeah, it's one way. I think Kenneth also senses it that in the long run, like he might get to the point where Ryan's fiery mental can't come back because lifting refrain has enough counter on it, and that's how he ultimately plans to get rid of it. Which is blue typically has problem getting rid of enchantments, and then this is one way, a very awkward and long way, but it might work. And in the meantime, he casts a fog bank. So I think Kenneth is feeling probably pretty good, sitting behind the fog bank and a 4/4.
Fog Bank is just the biggest time buyer in combat ever. Just you can't kill it with creatures and attacking and stuff like that. So it just blanks the scariest creature your opponent has. And it's just so impressive of just like buying time, but Kevin's still short on lands. Probably want looking at double spell at some time frame, but can't just yet.
Yeah, I think these guys drew up the lands how they wanted in reverse fashion. The blue deck wanted the 7 lands, and then the red deck wanted to stay at like 3/4. And Ryan has land number 8 on the battlefield.
And then we get a Wall of Junk from Ken, which just showcases just how much time buying is on the field. Ken's just like, you're never going to get through everything here.
Ooh, now it's a 5 mana, or should I say a free flyer?
Yeah, Peregrine Ray comes
Drake,
down.
Yeah, untaps your lands. So
Untaps 5 mana. Basically says if you control 5 lands, you get to cast this for free.
3/2/3 flyer. Yeah, I think Ryan is probably like sensing the inevitable, but he's smart enough to collect information on Kenneth's deck. And
Yeah,
to set,
sometimes it is better to just play through the actual round and get to the as much information as you can because maybe you want a sideboard, maybe you want to like get more information, maybe they got some big trick or whatever, and you just kind of suss that out from playing the game as long as you possibly can. But you still have to be mindful. There's still a clock going down. There's still time coming through, so
catalog.
you still have to play quickly though.
Yeah. I think it's like experienced players know how much time to allocate for information collecting. But also, Ryan is at 20. The clock is not that fast. The weird serpent still can't attack. The other creatures by default not attacking, so the Drake is the only thing ruling the skies right now. And that's like a 10-turn clock. In 10 turn, a lot can go differently. And yeah, and Ryan does have a lot of mana, so fiery mantles pumping for 9. That's definitely an option.
Yeah, but
Oh, catalog after
another
catalog.
catalog.
So now Kenneth's gotta be finding those land drops. Oh, he's discarding a land, so probably he already has land in hand.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
also one of
yeah.
those things. He's probably got a mitt full of greatness and just ready to go. But Ken's in no pressure right now. Ken's got all the time with the fog bank, wall of junk, veiled serpent. Ryan's just kind of probably looking down the barrel and saying, "I don't think I'm gonna win this,
Right,
but we're gonna play it through just to make sure."
Yeah, Ryan was asking how many counters are on that living refrain, like how much mana he need to hold up. Can he double spell? And then a Goblin War Buggy, 2/2 haste with Echo,
Which is great on 2, but or even 3, but
and a mantle. That's why Ryan was asking. Say, okay, can I resolve the mantle and the War Buggy? Because now I'm gonna have like a big haster, which Ryan does need to block. Also, kind of does need to block,
Yeah,
but
but
he has the fog bank.
he's got the fog bank, and like it doesn't matter how big your creature is. Like if it doesn't have trample or some other effect, they're just never getting through.
Yeah, Ryan does need to find an arc lightning here to get the fog bank out of the way here. But yeah, he's probably going to combat. Or he knows. He knows that Kenneth knows. Yeah, he does. He does. So the fog bank is still
Yep, fog
vigilantly
bank is
guarding.
just holding down the fort right now. And what do we got here?
Oh, this is a okay. This is a wizard mantle. This is an interesting card. So it's a 3 mana 2/2. You can tap it and bounce that to get back to your hand along with another creature, which is very good. Like you can save your creatures from removal, or if they have entered the battlefield effect, that comes handy too. So
And it's also one of those things too where if Kenneth has to block and knows the creature's going to die, he can just bounce it in response, get it out of the way, still get to play it down. It's a very mana intensive card, but it's one of those very effective when it's good kind of deals.
yeah, it can create loops, and then yeah, I mean that's what blue decks does, right? Like they're just trying to control everything, what can go wrong, and then eventually win the game with maybe like a 2 power flyer in the air. And Kenneth is in no rush at this point, putting up the counter on the refrain. It's probably at like 6 counter by now. So Ryan does need to be mindful. Like he planned to actually play a 5 drop now, I think.
Oh,
Oh, the clock is doubled. So Pendra Drake, that's a 2/3 flyer for 4 with cycling on it. I don't know if in this format you would ever cycle a card like this, unless you're really stuck on 2 mana.
it's definitely one of those things. The 2/3 flyer is definitely winning a lot of matches in scenarios like this, especially when you got the ground all gummed up and infinite amount of block time, basically.
Yeah, so the Air Force is ready, and Ryan is think weighing his options.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like Ryan knows it's 3 turns, and he's got to find an answer very quickly.
Yeah, I think maybe the problem is that even if he has another fiery mantle, the wall of junk can just block and come back in a lot of cases. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
the
the
arc
arc
lightning.
lightning
That's a
finally
good one.
hits,
Yeah.
but Ken's got the ability to bounce the fog bank.
Yeah. I think that's also he's gonna do probably. Just save it and then try to get it back.
Now this does give Ryan a small window to do something, but
Oh, two
they may
damage
be
to the fog back.
considering a counter, maybe. Just
Yeah,
trying to
you see
make
they're
sure.
checking the refrain counters, how much you need to pay if I sacrifice the refrain.
Yeah,
And then yeah, I mean this might not be bad because at least at that point you can actually like negate the fiery mantle effect because Ryan has to spend all his mana to resolve the arc lightning, and yeah, and then Kenneth at that point can still bounce it with the mentor.
and it
Okay,
looks like
yeah,
he's going for the
yeah, he's
bounce.
going for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Ryan gets a small window to get in right now. The question is, can Ryan put enough pressure and damage?
There's a lot of mountains there. It's like what are we having? Eight mountains open. So yeah, there's a question about the Drake. I guess the toughness is being checked there. And it's like, how good is a 4 mana flyer? What is 3 toughness in this case? Yeah, wondering what's gonna happen. Yeah, I mean Ryan's gonna start pressuring. If not now, then when? It's the window.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Ryan knows, like the longer he waits, the worse it's gonna get. He's got to really pick and choose those attacks right now.
Yeah, it's also I think probably he knows a thing or two. For example, why is the more tanky on the field? There's gonna be something bad coming at one point if he waits too long. So yeah, fiery mantled goblin war buggy coming in.
Only one attacker, so it's offering up the trade.
Yeah,
Of course, Ryan's got to put some mana into it to use the fire breathing to kill, but still, they're still traded.
yeah, and the awkward part is that Ryan can't play back the mantle this turn because the refrain now has enough counters to counter it. So he might start. He's actually checking. He's checking it, and I think he's making a decision that do I want to get that refrain out of the table? Because the problem is with the refrain, right? That Ryan is not gonna get much more land. The longer the game goes, actually, refrain is more becoming a hard counter. They're just gonna have like 20 counters on it and can counter any spell of Kara's choosing. So might as well try to bait him into using it. And yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do. Let's see.
And what happens here? Does
Yeah.
he go? Oh, and he
Yeah,
goes
he gets
for
the
it.
bait. Yeah, he gets the
Okay.
bait. And because Ryan's deck has like I think 3 copies of the fiery mantles, so he can afford like getting rid of one or two. But it is good. Like the undying enchantment is powerful, and then the air force is coming, business
Well,
as usual.
not only that, Ken's got a lot of time. Still holding on that wall of junk, fog bank in hand, stone proctor, and on top of that, still hitting for 4 turn, which
Yeah, you gotta be thinking if you are Ryan that hey, he did not play back the fog back. What is going on there?
Okay, 5 mana, 4/3 haster coming down.
Thundering giant.
Okay,
Thundering into the battlefield.
and it looks like we're gonna get into a little bit of a race, but Ken's still got this wall of junk.
Oh, it's not attacking because of the wall of junk. That is I don't know. I don't know why, because there was a window to push through 3 damage.
Yeah, I don't see
What
why.
was the reason for not attacking there?
Because I mean, you're still racing. You still got hit for 4 in the air. You can't stop it.
Oh, Fog
Okay,
Bank is
fog
coming
bank
back
comes
now.
down,
Yeah, yeah.
and we got 5 mana up. And what do we got here?
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
just
No,
scoops it
Ryan,
up.
Ryan has seen enough. He can solve the flyers.
Yeah, just the flyers just get there, and this is just a perfect example. A little bit of evasion with flying just is more than enough to win most games.